Okay, so who were the top employers last year? Education and academia, communications and media, law, legal services, finance, healthcare, consulting, and several other industries. At the senior meeting, we gave you the white sheet with every employer we worked with last year. They're also done by these and other categories. So feel free again to take a look at those. And those are go-to company names because, again, they hired or at least accepted applications from Middlebury graduates last year. So now let's fast forward to you guys, and what is your interest profile? If you go into Mojo, if you could go into a Mojo administratively right now, you would see, for class of 2008, your #1 interest area is communications and media. For profit second, government, international, education, etc. down the line. These are the top 8. There are obviously dozens more. It just gets very fragmented quickly. So what does this tell me? A couple things. One, for the State Department's visit next week on the 24th, folks in the government bar, 160 of you are actually going to get an email about that. Okay, the rest of the 793 seniors are not going to get an email about that. So if you have not correctly indicated all of your interests in the Mojo profile, you will not hear about directly from us a lot of the programs that are going on. Now you'll see it in the Senior Spotlight newsletter if you care to read that, which we encourage you. But once again, please go into your Mojo profile and make sure you click off every industry that you want to know about. Okay. So a lot of people say, well, when you talk jobs, you got to talk money for a minute. So here it is. It's good news. This came out September 12th. Every major in the liberal arts category is going up this year. Okay. So this was based on last year's numbers. So you can quickly see. And these are averages, probably Middlebury grads. Going to New York, you're going to make more than that. Obviously, the cost of living is going to be much higher in Boston or Washington, etc. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Susan Walker now, who's going to take you through some of the really, really important stuff, and then I'll come back and touch on the remainder of the program.
Thanks, Don. So you came back. That's great. It's good to have you here. This is the how part. I'm going to blast through a lot of information. It may not all sink in, but I hope enough does to, again, energize you, as I talked about on Monday. Here's the overview of what we're going to be talking about. I would like to make the point that we're laying out some life skills here. Job search skills are life skills. You may use these on your own timetable. That could be right now, it could be in the spring, it could be summer, it could be a year from the time of your graduation. What we really want for you is to just have these skills to access whenever you're ready to use them. All right, so we've framed these important skills in terms of a toolkit, which is tangible, helpful things like you need a resume, you need cover letters, you need a script for your networking meeting, etc. And then some actual active life skills, which is where the research, networking, and interviewing comes in. So research, I talked a lot about that on Monday, and you heard from a member of the class of 2007 to quite an extent about that also. This is the explore part after you've done your assessment. What you see here is a screenshot of CSO's password page. I hope you're somewhat familiar with this, but if not, this is a very important place where we house all of the databases for which we, and therefore you, pay. And it's password protected so that any old person from outside the college community can't access it. So noting the birth there, you should write down career and choices, and we memorize those, and forever after you can get into this place, the password page. It's not just about passwords. It's about some of the really most important links to information you're going to want. If you look on the yellow sheet that's in your packet, this highlights the major resources like idealist.org for not-for-profit jobs, Mojo Midnet, the Latin Liberal Arts Career Network job database, Vault industry guides, which are key when you're just trying to learn about a field and prepare to interview. So again, career password, CSO password page is really going to be important to you. Okay. Networking. Again, I think heard quite a bit about that from the experts, members of last year's senior class. But we can't stress this enough. It's something that it's a skill you're already using. If you think about when you first came to Middlebury, how'd you find out where to get a good haircut? How did you find a ride home for Thanksgiving break? You were networking. You were letting people know how they could help you. It's the same thing you're going to be doing as you go out and look for a job. I'd also like to make the point that this isn't just for people who are looking for corporate jobs or not-for-profit organization jobs, but it also applies to people who are looking into education. It applies to people who are going to New York and trying to make it as actors, or going out to LA. Talking to people, letting them know, where am I going to get a good headshot? What are the best dance classes? This is all important information regardless of where you're headed.
I actually realized how important networking was until after I already had graduated, and sort of, not that I couldn't network still, but I think it would have been helpful to be networking while I was still a student, and then I would have gotten a job quicker.
Yeah, it's more good advice. So, of course, I think we've also been hammering home the point that preparation is key for anything you want to do and do successfully. So you've got to prepare yourself. Again, this has to do with you're having assessed your interests, skills, values, etc. We're going to talk a little bit later and show you a script that you can develop for networking occasions, and also some good questions to ask so that people can be helpful to you in a specific way. Then you've got to prepare a list of people who might be interested in helping you. And don't discount, those sort of ordinary people that you've known all of your life, but in the career world may be able to be quite influential. Friends, family, next door neighbors. Make the list exhaustive. And then get a plan going. Who do you want to talk to first? Who do you want to try this out with? And I think there's some good tips, such as start with people that are low stakes and easy to talk to. So that may fall in the friends, family realm, or young alums, people who are just 1 or 2 years out of Middlebury. Practice this whole activity with them before you go out and talk to the executive director of Save the Children or something. And then make sure that you follow through. These are not one-time interactions, or they shouldn't be. When you're lucky enough to get a networking meeting or a networking phone appointment, make sure you keep that person warm as part of your network by contacting them on a regular basis, like every 3 weeks, 6 weeks, just so that they remember that they talked to you, you're out there, and when something new comes on their radar screen, that they remember to get in touch with you. Again, you have to know what you have to offer, and Don has already referred to that in terms of your core professional competencies. Also, I think you heard something about that from Christian, who was talking about the interview process, and that you really need to know this is a matter of fit. They're looking for something, you're looking for something. What are you bringing to the table? And it's these sorts of things that people are seeking in graduates from a school like Middlebury.
And I just, the luck of the draw, the person receiving all the resumes and applications was a Middlebury graduate from 2000. And so I suppose my application made it to the top of the pile. And I got called in for an interview, and I sent her an email after learning that she was a mid-grad. And I think that certainly helped a lot.